Our article today, which is something that is actually kind of interesting because I don't think about this very often, just because I'm in the back of house, don't have to deal with this. But what really happens if you can't pay your restaurant bill? And this says no, they're not going to require you to wield the restaurant grade dishwasher hose. And I like this because like restaurant grade makes me laugh. It's just a sprayer. It's not like super intense. I why is it written like that? I don't. It's so silly. The server drops off your bill after you treat yourself to a big restaurant dinner. You pat your pockets for your wallet, mentally calculating the tip in your head. Imagine this is like, it's like my like, who does this? Nobody's doing this. That's what you wish. You're still patting your pockets and you're coming up empty. You don't have your wallet. What now? Run fast! Your mind races with the possibilities for what really happens if you can't pay your restaurant bill. Are you put to work as a dishwasher, as many sitcoms would have you believe? Yes. Will you receive a lifetime ban from the establishment? Yes. Or worst of all, is your server left fronting the bill on your behalf? Yes. As a former waitress, my experience is that your bill eating a chunk of your service earnings is usually the worst case scenario. To separate fact from fiction, I interviewed the owner of one of my favorite restaurants, BBC Tavern and Grill in Wilmington, Dell. Full disclosure, the owner of this restaurant is both my former employer and my current biological father. As opposed to not current? I don't understand. From the restaurant perspective, first off, diets? Tells me that a true dine and dash is not all that common, with his establishment seeing about 4 or 5 every year. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. And it's like kind of on the servers or bartenders or you know, whatever, to kind of keep an eye out for it. Same with managers. If there's a manager on the floor, usually they try to watch out for it. What's more, the classic dine and dash is more often a misunderstanding than it is malicious. Especially in a large, busy restaurant, the server might forget to drop the bill, or the customer might walk out as an honest mistake. I don't know about that one. Although what I do wonder about is like with the with those like tablets essentially that are on the tables at some places. I wonder how more often this happens because you don't really talk to the server as much. So I feel like it's easier to just be like, oh yeah, I paid, and then just kind of like leave. Since it's all paid on the tablet thing. Although I think a lot of them have lights that are supposed to turn green after you pay your bill, but I still feel like it's easier to just skip out. You've walked out on a bill. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever done that. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So I usually just ask for it because I eat fast because I'm used to not really having a break. So like I always eat my meals fast, and like as soon as I'm done, I want to leave. So I'm just like, can I please get my check? So yeah, I don't think I've ever walked out accidentally or on purpose. Always pay your bills. Always pay your restaurant bills. It's a message for everybody out there. Please don't just skip out. A lot of work and a lot of love goes into it. Into the food and into the service. Whether you made an honest mistake or intentionally dine and dash, the money for the bill has to be covered somehow. Did you force the server to pay for your negligence? It depends on the establishment. I have worked for a place that made them pay. They took it really seriously. Yates tells me that in Delaware and many other states there are laws forbidding employers from deducting cash loss and dine and dash from employees. Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe it was just an empty threat then. However, USA Today reports that under federal wage and hour law, a restaurant can require an employee to pay the loss from the dine and dash if it does not cause the employee's wages to dip below the federal minimum wage. Oh. Well, never mind then. I take back what I just said. Even if your server doesn't have to pay for your food costs, you will have robbed them of their tip, which is their primary way they get paid. True. Of course, neglecting to pay your bill is morally wrong. It's also illegal. However, Diet says that, anecdotally, it's unlikely the restaurant will press charges, especially since that would involve tracking you down with virtually no identifiers. On the off chance that a restaurant chooses to take legal action, the ramifications range from petty theft to a felony, depending on the bill amount and state-by-state laws. Imagine getting a felony for just dipping out on like a $5 sandwich. You were with friends and your brain said, alright, time to leave. Realized after I had left that no, I did not pay the bill and I had to profusely apologize and tipped well. I mean, as long as you went back and paid, like, it's fine. plus the extra tip. I'm sure they were not too upset. No matter what, your face will be burned into your server or bartender's memory. True. Diet says that BBC Tavern and Grill, like many restaurants, have a corkboard in the back with names and descriptions of people who have walked out on their bill. This exists. This is a real thing. This is super real. If you have to return, you better be ready to pay up. Yeah, I'm not a monster. I went back. I didn't assume that you were. I didn't assume that you would just leave on purpose. Actually, one of our bartenders actually had an extra photo of himself, and he put it up on the 86. We call it the 86 board. For anybody that doesn't know, 86 in like restaurant terminology means like it's out. We don't have any left. So we'll call it the 86 board because they're like, you know, they can't be here. And so he put a picture there. It took people forever to notice. And somebody was just like, wait a minute, isn't that so-and-so? And I was like, yeah, he put that up there like weeks ago. Nobody said anything. I'm also the type of person to specifically tip the kitchen. Yeah, same. There's a few places around here. One of them is like one of my favorite vegan places to order from, where you can like, I don't directly support this as much anymore, but you can like in their like Postmates app or whatever, there's like an option to like buy the kitchen a round of beers, or like a really expensive one to buy them like a fifth of whiskey, which I think is pretty cool. I don't want to promote more drinking on top of the current sort of issues, the alcohol and drug abuse issues that you see kind of run rampant in the industry, but it's cool to see that they have kind of like a funny, jokey alternative to tipping at the kitchen. Where are we? Dia says that no business in the right mind would invite an untrained customer to a dangerous dishwashing station. Dangerous dishwashing? What kind of dishwashing stations do people have, yo? Like, I mean, I guess if they have to move the chemicals and stuff, like, that's where the danger comes in. I don't know. The way that they're framing it makes it sound like it's like a just super intense, like so intense. There are no garbage disposals. Those do not exist in, at least in any restaurant that I have ever been in or worked in. Garbage disposals do not exist. There are all sorts of catches and traps and things to catch big food solids, and that's all dumped in the garbage. There's all kinds of they don't exist. Like a lot of the sinks have a like large like insert, essentially have bars across so you can slide the big racks, because you load everything up into these giant racks, and then that will have bars, but in the bottom is perforated so water can get through, but like big food solids can't. And then underneath that you'll have the actual sink bottom, and then within that sink bottom there's usually another sort of strainer that goes down into a thing, and there's also a grease trap, and then there is a I can't think what the word is. They come in numerous colors. Yes, they do. Strainer's not the right word. What am I trying to say? It's essentially just like a fine mesh thing to catch more food solids that goes into another thing, like a big pull-out slot thing. Catches more food solids that goes down into a floor drain that also has like a catch to block any food solids going into the drain. So there's like catches on catches on catches to catch all the food solids by the time it hits the floor drains. But yeah. Steve? Sieve? That might be the word. I'll think about it later at like 5 a.m. while I'm trying to sleep. And I'll probably very sleepily type it into the Discord and type it wrong. But yeah, pretty much. I also read Steve at first too because my eyesight's really bad. Um, what game? It's Destiny 2 tonight. Continuing on with the story. I gotta finish the story so I can start on the seasonal stuff. Let's see. Even if a restaurant manager wants to put you to work for your crimes, they're not allowed. Per the FDA, if you aren't necessary to the food establishment as an employer, contractor of some kind, you're not allowed in the food preparation, storage, or washing area. So if you want to wield that powerful restaurant-grade dishwasher hose, you better be off getting hired to do the job through official food channels. It's not that strong. It's not that strong. Like, it seriously is not that crazy. It's literally just a sprayer. Like, yeah, I know I'm so far behind. I just, like, work. Pretty soon it's going to be, like, me and 4 other cooks. Like, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to take, like, a small break from streaming. Or just stream, like, 1 or 2 days. And I'll try to play in my off time, but, like, this week, I'm doing, like, a 13-day stretch. And then pretty soon I'm going to be opening the kitchen on Monday and also closing it. So it's going to be a wild time for a little bit while I look for another job. But yeah, the sprayer is not that nuts. It's just like it's just a sprayer. It's not taking off skin. So you be honest and find other ways to pay. A lost wallet is no excuse to not pay. If you have your phone, you have access to payment. I'm positive your service doesn't want to be tipped in crypto, but in many places, money transfer apps like Venmo should be fair game. Make sure the server gets their manager involved so that they don't face issues trying to cash out at the end of their shift. If your wallet is in your car and you need to leave and come back, you could offer your phone as collateral. If your wallet or credit cards are at home, you could offer to pay over the phone later that night. And don't expect every restaurant to take you at your word. This brings me to my last point. Be honest about your situation directly. Ask the manager what the best solution is, and then work with whatever they say. Resolving an unpaid bill would be a lot easier if everyone is honest and polite. And if you're a true Dine and Dasher, I hope you pay for your crimes one day. For real. I want my skin to be sprayed off. Yo. Like, they mentioned that the, like, crazy restaurant sprayer, like, a couple times in this article, and I'm just like, bro, it's just a sprayer. Like, half the time it doesn't even spray off the stuff off the plates. I leave my wallet at times and call my wife. How many people leave their wallets at home? Does this happen a lot to people? Like, I'm gonna say this and watch. Tomorrow I'm gonna forget my wallet. But, like, I do a pat down every time I leave the house to make sure I have everything with me. Just so this doesn't happen because I'm so stressed about it. About not having it.